Admiral Winter's Log, Stardate 47634.44. I have been tasked with hosting an open communication to share current events with the fleet and other interested parties. This transmission will be multicasting live via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch to facilitate this tonight. We will be chilling out on Defera instance number 1 on the invasion zone while we hold our summit. Joining me for the mission are my two co-hosts, Captain Phil and Captain Selleck. How's it going, guys? Selleck, how are you doing?
Pretty good. It has been a surprisingly sleep-filled week for me this week, so that's been nice.
Oh, really? So the insomnia's gone away?
Yes, I'm going to say, with
Fingers
no
crossed.
hint of sarcasm, insomnia has been solved.
Ah, yes. No, that is actually great news because I suffer with insomnia as well, as you know. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. Insomnia is horrible. It is just so bad. Phil, how about you? How are you doing, dude?
Well, I'm doing great. I have also slept somewhat here and there, so it's been good.
God, I'm getting jealous because let's see, we're at 5 minutes past 2, so I'm up 25 hours now at this stage without any sleep. And I don't know if I'm going to get any even when we finish the show later on tonight. But I'm going to try. So hopefully, fingers crossed. So apologies for the intro there. I'll tell you guys what happened. I switched everything over from, the Mirror Universe intro and back to our normal intro video. And I forgot to switch over the audio. So that's why the intro was playing there and there was no sound. But thank you guys for letting me know because I was able to fix it on the fly there. So hopefully you can hear us all now without any issues. So anyway, Selleck, why don't you tell us what we have planned for today's briefing, please?
During the summit, we will discuss the latest Star Trek Online news. We'll also share the latest Priority 1 Armada news and highlight some of the outstanding members within our community. So if you've not made your way over to Defera instance number 1, come and join us. After the summit, we will battle with the Borg for our weekly away mission to earn Omega and Fleet Marks. Your character needs to be level 10 to join.
Right, so before we go any further, let's kick off the first giveaway of the night, guys. So, captains, for your chance to win a Mark 12 TR-116-B sniper rifle, we would like you to type in the word NOT. That's all you have to do. Type in the word NOT into whatever platform you are viewing the stream on, whether it's Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Type in the word NOT, and that will enter you in with a chance of winning a TR-116B sniper rifle. So best of luck, everyone.
If you are not a member of the Priority 1 Armada and want to stay in touch with us in game, then come join us on our Priority 1 chat channel by typing in the chat box /channel_join space Priority 1, all one word, and then hit the enter key.
And if you want to become a member of our Priority 1 community, simply head over to priority1armada.com to sign up. We have multiple Federation and KDF fleets for you to start your career with the Priority 1 Armada.
Well, we have a lot to brief everyone about this week in Star Trek Online news, so let's jump right into the round table. And Phil, why don't you tell us all about the new MUD's market items, please?
I would love to, Winter. So this was actually from the week before, but for some reason last week, we had an interception from a galaxy far, far away. So we wanted to bring this up now just to make sure everyone heard about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do my best Rainn Wilson right now. And here we go. I'm gonna channel it. My dear, dear friends, my greatest customers, you who have traveled far and wide to find MUD's unique store of wonders. Thank you for coming today. You humble me with your very presence. But now is the time you've all been waiting for. We're here to unveil my latest items. First, a special console for your ship, one of my favorites. It is of Tholian origin. Don't ask me what I had to go through to secure it for you, but anyway, if you ever need to use force on not so friendly folk out there, this will put you in control of the situation. And then there's this uniform that was gifted to me, I think, by the House of Core. I can already see how great it is and how it would suit you over there. Yes, sir. Finally, I have acquired the services of the distinguished Ellen Landry and Gabriel Lorca. You're laughing, but it's true. Yes, I know they are not actually present right now, but I can assure you that you will be able to profit from both their skills and knowledge, all at a criminally low price. What? That's just a figure of speech. I would never end scene. And that's it. So Mud has 3 new items coming to his market, which I think they're already in the market. You can grab the Universal Console, the Tholian Web Spinner Array, the Core Uniform, and the Lorca and Landry holographic bridge officers.
I'm actually going through the store, and I remember checking this, I think it was last week. I can't find this Core uniform anywhere.
Oh, really?
Am I missing something? I have the Emancipator, the Civilian 2399.
Do you, dumb question, have to be on a Klingon character?
That
I don't
could
think
be it.
But does those, I almost said C store, the Zen store work like that? I'm not sure it does, but
You might be right. You might have to be on a KDF character. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's not showing up in the store for me. And I remember looking at for it last week as well, and I couldn't see it. I must check it on a KDF character tomorrow or sometime.
I can't see it either. And I'm on a Federation character.
How about you, Selleck? Can you see it by any chance?
No, but I'm also on a Fed character.
Right, okay. Are you interested in any of these items at all? If you could see them?
Not particularly, but mainly because I was around and got the event unlocks. With the exception of the buffs, I am considering picking up Lorca and Landry.
Ah, right, okay. You weren't able... You never got one of the convention codes for Lorca and Landry, no?
Sadly, no.
Oh, no. How about you, Phil? Are you interested in any of these items?
Like Selleck, I already have the console, the web spinner array. It is so good. Like it's so good. As for the bridge officers, I already have like bridge officers I really like that I don't feel like I use enough. So I don't know if I'd spend the Zen on it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you're not going to use them, you know, like what's the point in wasting the money, as you just said? I'm terrible. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, I no longer play my Klingon character now that I've finished all the endeavors on it, so I would not get the uniform either.
Right. So, crap, I forgot what I was going to say now. I'm terrible for, earning the event item and never using it. You guys say that this one was actually pretty good, but I've never tried it. What do you like about it? Is it a console? Is that what it was? A console?
Yes, it's on the what's called. It's on the ship, and what it does is it forms your enemies in little Tholian webs.
Oh, right.
And they take like 25 or 50% increased damage from attacks, and it's like up to 5 foes. So like if you have a bunch of enemies like clustered together and you hit it, it'll entrap all of them for a few seconds, and then you'll do more damage to them.
It's basically a player version of what the Tholian dreadnoughts can do.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe, if I remember rightly, this is the console that also gives a rare buff to Tetrion damage. So if you're ever making a Tetrion build, this is an excellent console to slap on.
All right, okay. I might consider that so for one of my Tholian builds, and I'm thinking it would probably work well with the Tholian mines. Probably, would it? Do you think?
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, stack into something. In this case, the mines along with the console. It could be interesting. I might try that actually on my torpedo boat.
Okay, so it has the chain damage thing. It says it's up to 4 targets, 25% damage increase. It used to be 50% damage, I want to say. And Farnsworth is mentioning in chat that it was nerfed. Physical damage, Tetrion damage, starship control, expertise, and then the activation with the entrapment.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I might actually try out that console because, like I said, I'm terrible. I'm really, really bad at it. I always earn, the ship or the item or the console or the kit module or whatever the hell it is, and I never use them. So I should probably start delving into some of these items. And that one sounds like it could be good for two particular... I can think of probably the Tholian Dreadnought, and then probably my torpedo boat. That would probably be a good addition to those builds. So yeah, I might try it.
I mean, you're the man who has both your event boxes still unlocked, right? So I'm not surprised you haven't used this console yet.
Oh yeah. I still have the last 2 event campaign reward boxes and haven't picked anything out of them yet. I don't know what to get. There's nothing that I want. Anyway, let's move on to item number 2. Selec, tell us all about The Galaxy Goes to Red Alert, please.
The entire galaxy is going to Red Alert from April 6th to April 15th. All Red Alert events will be returning at once. The final frontier is caught in a massive invasion on all sides. During this event, you'll be able to play the following content: the Borg Red Alert, the Alachi Red Alert, the Tholian Red Alert, the Zenkathi Red Alert, and the Nakul Red Alert. Please note, as the only Red Alert with a fail condition, the Zenkathi Red Alert will not grant daily bonus progress if you fail the TFO. The fail condition will likely be removed in future runs of this event. I always love that they include that in every copy-paste. I think I've personally read that out loud like 5 times at this point.
Yep.
For real.
In addition to their usual rewards, these task force operations will also grant daily bonus progress. After you receive 5 daily progress, you will be rewarded with a package containing an ultimate tech upgrade and a specialization point.
Woohoo!
You can also purchase the grand prize on the events page if you'd prefer. The price will be prorated as you earn daily progress, becoming cheaper the more you play. And as usual, you can continue to play the event after finishing it, or after claiming the grand prize to earn more dilithium.
I don't really know what to ask about this. I mean, there's not much point in asking if you guys are taking part in this. I mean, it's free stuff. Phil, I'm guessing you are doing the Red Alert event, right?
Oh, for sure. I always say every time one of these events come up, I know people feel burnout from the constant influx of events, but this one, if you're going to do any of them, do this one, do the Borg one. It takes 10 minutes, if that. Really easy. The rewards are really good. And I always think this is 100% worth it.
Honestly, the Borg Red Alert, I completely agree, is the best one to do, but 3 minutes is like the most amount of time I spend in the Borg Red Alert. It is over in 3 minutes. It is so fast. And it can be over even quicker if you're on a really, really good team. I suppose it could go longer, but I mean, it's not that difficult. Selec, how about you? Are you doing this Red Alert event?
I rarely bother with these because they don't offer any special rewards, but as I'm already logging in every day at the moment, I am doing it this time round.
Well, I mean, what is it? An ultimate tech upgrade and a specialization point. I mean, they're not bad,
Oh, it's not a bad reward, but it's not a you will regret this if you miss it.
Right, yes, I get you now, I get you, yeah.
So I'm always glad when these events roll round, especially when they're between, like they are in this case, big events that are either part of an event campaign or, you're getting something really cool that you don't want to miss.
I see what you're saying. So, basically, to the point that Phil made, where it's event. When these come around, you're like, yeah, this is my break time. So that you don't burn out. Gotcha. All right, that's clever, actually. Yeah, that's smart. I like that.
Also, I don't know if this is still the case, but if you have a Gamma recruit, they count towards your random TFO. Uh,
I know they did 4 years ago when I was doing my Gamma recruit.
it worked for the most recent one that last year, because I remember doing it on mine. Doesn't work for the Klingon recruit, but I think it works for the Gamma recruit.
All right, okay. That could be a quick way of getting through the TFOs.
Also, the 10-day Borg one, when they do the 10-day red alert, rather, it also comes with the starship upgrade, and
That's
that one's way
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, agreed, definitely. Yeah. I'm actually glad the way they do it. Like, so we've got the T6X upgrades, we've got the Captain Elite upgrade, and we've now got the Bridge Officer upgrade. And I'm actually really glad that it's the T6X upgrade that they throw into the red alerts, because let's face it, we have tons of ships, and realistically, they're throwing these tech upgrades or these T6X upgrades at us. I've got a bunch of them in my account bank, and basically anytime I jump onto a ship that hasn't been T6X'd, I just grab one and throw it on, and I'm gradually getting all of my ships upgraded.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Let's move on to item number 3. Phil, tell us all about the research and development and junior officer week, please.
Absolutely. So, Star Trek Online is pleased to announce the return of the Research and Development Week. This event will run through from Thursday, April 6th to Thursday, April 13th on PC, and features several bonuses throughout Star Trek Online that will give captains of all levels a leg up in advancing their rank in the research and development schools of their choice. For those captains looking specifically for extra help with their projects, all R&D packs throughout the game will give out an extra 25% of the items they currently disperse for the duration of this event. Q R&D material reward packages, normal, advanced, or elite, will reward 25% more R&D materials and have a chance to reward a catalyst. Ooh. Alternatively, captains wanting to advance through research and development schools as fast as possible should seek out harvest nodes located in mission maps throughout STO, which will not only disperse 2 extra R&D materials each time they are used, but will also reward 10 dilithium ore and have a chance to give out a R&D catalyst during this event. For all captains that work on a research and development project during this event, those projects will reward an extra 50% of the appropriate research and development school experience. This includes projects to make components as well as those to make items. Moving on to the junior officers, from the same time frame, April 6th through April 13th, Star Trek Online is running a special event where you can earn bonus commendation experience by completing any duty officer assignments. During this event, you will gain a 50% increase in all commendation XP earned by the completion of duty officer assignments. You don't need to do anything special for this bonus. It is automatic. Receive a free, little asterisk, free only if it's not available if you already claimed it the last time the event was ran, but a free special purple quality duty officer with unique active roster power by speaking with your duty officer contact. For Starfleet officers and their allies, this is an engineering exocomp duty officer. And for KDF officers and their allies, it is a Riemann duty officer. Duty officer packs opened during this event will each have a free additional green quality or better duty officer inside. This only applies to C-Store. Wait a minute. That's funny. This only applies to Zen Store purchase packs, not to those awarded during rank up from recruitment assignments or mini packs. Also, it applies only to packs opened during the event, even if they are purchased prior to the event. The packs included for this offer are as follows: the Delta Alliance, the Gamma Quadrant Officer Cadre, Reinforcements Duty Officer Pack, Fleet Support Duty Officer Pack, the Romulan Survivor Duty Officer Pack, the the Klingon Empire Duty Officer Pack, and the Federation Duty Officer Pack. But wait, there's more. The Academy Particle Scanning events are now part of the Junior Officer Appreciation event. Visit Starfleet Academy or Klingon Academy during this event and speak to Professor Meyer or Commander Bitama, respectively. Pick a cadet to train, then engage in scanning particles all about the academy grounds. As you scan and capture particles, you'll help to train the cadet. In exchange, your faction will release a new random duty officer to you. The more particles you scan, the better the quality of the officer you claim. So, for example, if you scan a minimum of 5 traces, you'll get a common duty officer. 25 will net you an uncommon. 50 a rare, and 75 traces to be rewarded a very rare duty officer. Remember, additional reserve duty officer slots in increments of 25 and 100 are available in game from the Zen store for up to a maximum of 500 reserve officer spaces. In addition, research and development packs will be available for captains for 20% off. From Thursday, April 6th at 8 a.m. Pacific to Monday, April 10th at noon Pacific, both research and development packs as well as bundles will be discounted. For example, they're normally 300 for an individual pack, and now it's 240. And for the bundle, it is normally 1,000 and now 800. And in that bundle, you will receive 4 research and development packs. You will receive 4 separate packs when making this one purchase, not one pack that unpacks 4. And then finally, Star Trek Online is happy to announce that you'll be able to enjoy 20% of all duty officer packs. You can select from the following duty officer packs for 20% off from Thursday, April 6th to Monday, April 10th. And they are as follows: the Gamma Quadrant Duty Officer Cadre, the Reinforcements Duty Officer Pack, the Fleet Support, Romulan Survivor, and Delta Alliance Duty Officer Packs, and the Delta Federation and Klingon Packs. And that's it.
Are you sure?
Checking.
That was a lot of stuff.
That's it. That was it.
So I seen ADC Phoenix asked, is Upgrade Weekend part of it too? It is. Oh wait, no, sorry, Upgrade Weekend. No, it's R&D. So if you're leveling up your R&D schools, like I'm showing here now, and you're running the research projects, you get bonus XP for each of any R&D project you run. It is not for upgrading gear. That is a separate event. So I wanted to mention that there because I seen Phoenix talking about it in chat. Right. So basically, in a nutshell, there's an R&D weekend going on and a junior opposite week. Would I be right in saying that you guys would agree that the R&D weekends are pretty crap?
Yes.
What do you think, Phil?
I would agree with you, but can you elaborate?
Well, this
I don't, and I only say that not because I don't believe you, is because I guess I don't do it enough to know that it's crappy.
Right. Okay. So basically, the point that I'm getting at is that R&D really needs some work. There's nothing outstanding about the R&D system. There's a couple of nice things, like for myself personally, every character that I have, their secondary weapon is always a TR-116B, just in case I come across Borg, which happens quite often, especially if you're doing TFOs. And that's probably the most I use R&D for, is crafting TR-116Bs. Yeah, you can get the Aegis set. The Aegis set is, let's face it, it's outdated. You can get, RCS accelerators and neutronium alloys and what have you, but there's much better stuff available elsewhere in the game, and the R&D stuff is just, it's not up to par. And like I said, I think that this is a system that really needs some love and attention, and I have an idea that I think would really inject a lot of interest into the R&D system, and I want to pitch it to you guys and see what you think. But imagine if you could craft all the pieces needed to construct a starship. All right, gravity deck plating, bulkheads, doors, phaser arrays, shield emitters, nacelles, all the different things, consoles and chairs and literally everything, like all the different parts, like a million, well, all right, not a million, but, let's say 100, even that might be too much, but whatever. I'm just picking a number out of the sky here. But you had a big long list of things that you could craft, and there are ridiculous amounts of them needed. So for a good example of that would be gravity deck plating. All right, you probably need 500 sheets of gravity deck plating. All right, and if you were working on this constantly, either every day or every week or whatever, it would take 6 months to a year to craft everything if you were working on it. And at the end of it, basically you consolidate all the stuff and you spend it all and you get yourself a free starship. I think that will be a great addition to the crafting system. And I think all they would have to do is just come up with the recipes, because I think that's where the problem is. The recipes that they have just are not good enough. So they would just have to come up with recipes for gravity deck plating and recipes for making bulkheads and doors and chairs and consoles and view screens and whatever else you have, wiring, for example. And at the end of it all, then, there's a list of, right, you need 500 sheets of gravity deck plating. You need 120 doors, and you need 700 bulkheads, and all these different things. And they could have 3 ships that you can craft, like a attack, engineer, and a psi ship, and have it that it takes you 6 months to a year of constant work to get that ship. I think that would be a great addition to the crafting system, and I'm curious what you guys think about that. Is it a good idea? Is it too intricate and complicated, or would that generate interest for you guys?
It would interest me. I think that's a cool idea. I would be down for doing something like that.
You have a long-term project to work on, like, yeah?
Mm.
How about you,
No,
Phil?
I would agree, and I agree, and you could, I don't know if they could do it, but you could do it like fleet holdings, where you don't actually have to hold the materials. Maybe you're filling a little gauge as you build stuff, and then once it's done, it automatically starts building, and I mean, it'd be cool if you could even see it being built. But no, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I did actually think about that. You could see it, and I think that would add a level of design complexity that just probably wouldn't be feasible for them. It would be cool. I'd love it, but I don't think they'd go that far. I think the easiest way around it would be, what would they have to do? Come up with a recipe to create gravity deck plating, all right? And have it so that it can stack up to 900 times, 999, all right? And basically, it only chews up one slot in your R&D tab. You know where all your crafting materials are.
Mm.
And that way it's not chewing up all your space. Each item takes up one slot, and there's 50 items that have to be crafted, for example. That way it's not... Do you remember the way it was before? Do you remember R&D materials only stacked up to, was it 100? And your R&D tab was...
Dark times.
Yeah, exactly, the dark times. And then they were like, yeah, right, let's make them up to 9,999. And all of a sudden we were like, wow, we've got all this space in our R&D tab. Well, let's use that space for something where we actually build a starship. And it takes 6 months to a year to build that starship. And it's a free starship. Oh, we got raided. Hello, raiders. Bear Witness, thank you so much for raiding. You you just joined us in the middle of a rant, or me in the middle of a rant. But anyway, so for you guys reckon, what, 2 thumbs up? Good idea?
Yes. I have an
Yes.
additional idea.
Uh-huh, yeah, fire ahead.
Not quite as radical as that. I would like them for the weapons for space and ground. I would like to be able to craft, basically craft lockbox weapons. I don't care about the bonuses. I care about the aesthetics. It would be really nice if I could craft a TOS Omni. I don't care if it's as good as like any sort of lockbox Omni. I just want to be able to craft weapons that aesthetically look like lockbox weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Are you saying just Omnis or any type?
Any type, ideally.
All
So,
right,
you know,
okay.
So I can craft like those pulse phases or agony. Well, there's not much point crafting agony phases because they're identical to normal.
Right.
But I'm not asking to be able to create lockbox weapons and have all those fun bonuses, especially like the advanced phases that you have to pay dilithium for.
Right.
It would be nice to have weapons that aesthetically are identical to all of the others.
I actually had an idea that I pitched to Al Rivera. Oh God, it must be 5 years ago. So you know the way we have our vanity or visualization slots for your shield, your engine, and your deflector. I had the idea of having a weapon slot. So if you are using agony phasers, you put one agony phaser into the weapon slot, and all of your phasers now look like agony phasers. Because Stow is all about synergies and combos and, set bonuses. 2 or more pieces of a set in a build and getting as many synergies going as you possibly can. And the bad thing about that is you end up with a rainbow build visually. You have one phaser that's firing and it's blue. You have another phaser that's firing and it's red. And you have another phaser firing and it's in pulses. And they're all different. They're all phaser, but they all look different. So you have this kind of rainbow thing going on with all the different looks from the various different set bonuses and weapons that you have firing. And my idea was just simply put in whatever type of weapon you want all your weapons to look like when they're firing, and you just slot it into the slot. But apparently Al said that is actually, he said at the time that it was a lot harder than one might think, because each time a weapon fires, there's a visual of the hit on the ship, and numbers pop up, and each one is different. Each weapon fires in a slightly different way to every other weapon. Unfortunately, I don't think it was something that he took on board. But that was another idea that I had.
I've also heard the PvP criticism of if you do that, you can hide very easily what weapons you're using, since if they have unique visuals, you won't see them.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to work out what someone's OP build is just by visuals, which is the only way you can work out what somebody's build is unless they share it with you.
Yeah, exactly. So just to go back a little bit here, I seen a question from Lance. He said, Winters, would this be something you would earn the right to do if you hit R&D 20? It could be. I would say at least level 15 in the appropriate school, if not level 20. I mean, if you could craft 3 ships at level 20, that would be great incentive to get all your R&D schools up to level 20. Or even level 15 for that matter. But, this is something pretty big, we're talking about them making free ships and just giving them away basically for you, just investing time into it. So I wouldn't be opposed to it being locked out to level 20. Who else was it? I think it was Lord Ford said, and the starship would vary based on faction. If I had my way, yes. So there'd be 3 Fed, there'd be 3 KDF, there'd be 3 Romulan, and there'd be 3 Jem'Hadar. And with cross-faction now, I mean, imagine if it took a year to build each one of those ships. How many did I rhyme off there? Are we talking 9 or 12 years to build all of those ships? There's a long-term system for people. They keep on expanding the Endeavor system. And the Endeavor system is designed to work for a couple of years of an investment. Why not do that with R&D? And
well, the thing is with Endeavors, you would, even though you are the idea is to do it to get the points, to get the passives, you're still getting the boxes every time you complete an Endeavor.
Yep.
Like, would you be getting like something like, if you're playing the long game in R&D, are you getting something along the way?
Well, my idea would be, where you can craft, pick a number. Let's say gravity deck plating. You can craft 10, 20, 30 sheets at a time. And it takes a week to craft those 10 sheets. And when those 10 sheets are done, you craft another 10. And you keep on going. So maybe do it, in terms of 7-day cycles for everything that you're going building. So once a week, you basically set up a whole brand new batch of projects to craft stuff, and you're getting the materials. You're building it up gradually, week by week by week. That's how I would envision the system, but who knows what they would come up with.
We are, of course, also going to be pitching that in addition to a requirement of reaching level 20 in the R&D, that you also need to make a donation to the Priority 1 Armada. Every player will
100%.
We weren't going to say anything about the small print. Yeah, so what were we talking about? How did we get on? The R&D weekend. I was saying that R&D is crap. That's right. I was like, wow, we really went on a tangent there. So anyway, yeah, in a nutshell, R&D is crap. It needs some new recipes. I think the Starship thing would be fantastic. And who knows? Maybe at some point in the future we might get to pitch that idea to the devs and see what they think of it. But I think the R&D system itself just needs some new recipes. The system itself isn't that bad. It just doesn't have anything that's interesting or great out of it. And I think the Starship idea will be a good one to go for.
Oh, for sure. And whatever they can do, I'm not saying necessarily this is where your head was, but like, I like alternate methods to earn super rare things in this game. And if this could be one of those, then it would be even better.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be. I think it works on so many different levels because it's perfect for their free-to-play model. All right, somebody who is playing the game free to play, they're on a limited income. Somebody like on disability or something like that. They just don't have the disposable income to buy ships. Well, then the alternative is you can craft 9 or 12 ships. It's going to take you, between, let's say, well, if it was 6 months a ship, then you're talking 6 years. That's a good system. That's a really good system to craft all of the ships now that we have cross-faction ships. Yeah, I mean, a 6-year-long system to get everything out of it, I think that would be really, really good. And I mean, we've seen it with the Endeavors. That system is, God, I didn't even do the math since they expanded it the last time, but that's got to be a 3 year long system, approaching 4 years at this stage, probably 3.5. So why couldn't they do that with R&D and have some good rewards at the end of it?
Well, you can craft if you want to. Leave
Yeah.
your friends behind
Yep.
because your friends don't craft, and if they
You
don't
can
craft,
craft
well,
new friends.
they're no friends of mine.
Can craft new friends. All right. Anyway, let's move on because I think we're beating a dead horse here with this R&D thing. I hadn't planned on that originally. Selik, why don't you tell us all about the not First Contact Day event?
Well, happy First Contact Day, Captains. Star Trek Online is pleased to once again invite you to the First Contact Day celebration, starting on PC and console on April 12th, 2023, and continuing until May 3rd. Join the festivities by competing with 4 other players to build and launch your very own Phoenix rocket. Traveling back to April 4th, 2063 to thwart the Borg's efforts to prevent the historic event, or participating in a recreation of the synth attack on Mars. Once per day, any activity will grant daily progress towards the grand prize, the Universal Console, the Chronogami Time Portal. Synthwave returns. The synths working on Mars have rebelled. Fight in orbit above the red planet, working with a team of fellow captains to do as much good as possible before they are overrun in the Synthwave TFO. The fate of Utopia Planitia hangs in the balance. Perhaps your insight will help us tip the scales if we are tested again someday. The Borg continue their implacable advance, only this time the battlefield is across time, not space. Temporal abnormalities have prompted Daniels to slap together an away team to go back to the mid-21st century Earth, where the Borg have altered the timeline to ensure that they succeed in their previously foiled plan to stop first contact between Earth and Vulcan. Team up with Seven of Nine and discover what the Borg have done to alter the timeline, and then do everything you can to correct it. Just make sure to not do more damage to the timeline than the Borg have already. Alternatively, if battling robot zombies isn't your cup of Earl Grey, you can participate in the good old Phoenix rocket launch competition. We hope you enjoy the friendly rivalry as you scramble to gather parts and assemble the best rocket under the watchful eye of enormous marble Dr. Cochrane himself. Completing either of these participating activities once per day per account will earn you a First Contact Day badge box. Opening the box will grant players the opportunity to choose between 17 com badges as account-wide unlocks. Upon reaching 14 days of progress, you will become eligible to claim the grand prize. This includes the following items: the Chronogami Time Portal, the First Contact Day bundle containing all of the following: a 1 Captain Specialization Point, 25,000 dilithium ore, a launch toy rocket social device, and a holo emitter, with the last 2 being account unlocks, or so they say. The Chronogami Time Portal is a console that opens a Chronogami portal, drawing the target ship back in time from the point just before its destruction. It targets a foe to cause a future version of their ship to emerge from a portal already undergoing a warp core breach. It then detonates for exotic damage to all surrounding foes. When the original target ship is defeated, it begins to undergo when it begins to undergo its warp core breach, it disappears into a time portal. Destroying an enemy battleship, dreadnought, or boss will reduce the recharge time of the Chronogami to its minimum value. So, this is a fun console. Essentially, you destroy a ship with a future version of that ship, and then the ship disappears instead of exploding.
Huh.
The launch toy rocket is another reward, and this is the classic ability to launch a little model of the Phoenix. You get a holo emitter of the Phoenix shuttle, which just turns your small craft into the Phoenix, and yeah, the dilithium, as previously mentioned. Players will be able to buy out the event with 2,000 Zen. But like all other recent buyouts, the price any player pays will be discounted based on the amount of daily progress you have already accrued.
I just want to say, way to go on the chronogami, because I would have totally butchered that. So well done, Selic. I would have been, yeah, I just would have made a whole mess of that if I had tried pronouncing that without hearing you say it. Phil, will you be taking part in this event, in the First Contact Day event?
Yes, I will. Coincidentally, earlier today, I was with my brother and dad, and we watched First Contact.
Nice. Best
And-
Star Trek film ever.
And I just last year I did the rocket building with the sound on for the very end.
Yeah.
And I had no idea I don't know if it's spoiling it what happens, but
Oh, no.
when there's a song that plays.
Yep.
So if you guys do it, and you've seen First Contact, make sure you do the rocket building with your sound on.
Let's rock and roll. Yeah.
But yeah, I like this event.
Selic, how about yourself? Will you be taking part in the First Contact Day event?
Most definitely. It's always good fun each year, and the reward sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll get nerfed to the ground and will be useless, but it will still be fun.
Well, yeah. If it's OP, then yeah, it'll probably get a nerf. But hopefully they've balanced it right, and it won't get a nerf. But we'll just have to wait and see. I always loved the First Contact Day event. I would love to know what happened in the office when they were like, "Oh, let's have First Contact Day the week after First Contact Day."
I know, right?
I mean, we were on the ball. So here's the story, guys. Right, last month we said, "Oh, First Contact Day. The show on the 8th of April is going to be the First Contact Day show," and for our patrol that we were going to do, it was going to be a night in Bozeman or whatever it's called. Yeah, one night in Bozeman, isn't it?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to do that. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to have First Contact Day the week after. So we had to scrub all that. And of course, we're here at Defera now because it's the Borg. And the Borg were in First Contact. But yeah, no, I like I said, I really enjoy the First Contact Day event. It's a lot of fun. I love doing the model rocket building. I think it's a lot of fun. I get a lot of kicks out of it. Sorry, Phil, go on.
No, I was gonna make another song pun that one night in Bozeman and the world's your oyster. Anyway, keep going.
All right, okay. How about we announce the winner of our first giveaway? What do you think about that, guys?
Sounds good.
All right, so this was for a TR-116B sniper rifle, and we wanted you to type in the word "not" into the chat. So we'll give you 5 seconds to type in the word "not," N-O-T. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. If you haven't typed in "not," the lines are now closed, and you've missed your chance. You're going to have to wait for the next giveaway that we do. So the winner is Iraka 2. I'm going to go with Iraka 2, who is a Twitch viewer. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yep. If you can please contact us, send a whisper to the Priority One Twitch channel, and let us know what platform you play on and what your in-game @handle is, and we will get that prize sent off to you at the end of the show. So well done and congrats again. So I think we should probably get our second one up and running here. What do you think about that, guys? Because we're kind of running on here a bit, aren't we, really?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, guys, here's our next giveaway. This is for a bonus pool collection pack. And what we would like you guys to do is type in the word first. Type in the word first into the chat now. It doesn't matter if you're watching on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Type in the word first, and that will enter you in with a chance of winning a bonus pool collection pack. So best of luck, everyone. Right, moving on to item number 5. Phil, tell us all about the legendary First Strike bundle, please.
I would love to. Jolan True Captains, behold the legendary First Strike bundle, which includes the legendary Akira and Valdor ships. This bundle celebrates 2 of the most stunning and beloved ships in Star Trek, one each in the Federation and Romulan traditions. Each ship comes with all of the skins, traits, and consoles these ships have had throughout their long history in Star Trek Online, and a brand new trait that you can unlock for your entire account. The legendary First Strike bundle will have a normal retail price of 12,000 Zen, but will be 30% off from April 12th to April 19th at noon Pacific Standard Time. During this introductory sale, it's the best time to get your hands on these 2 legendary ships and everything else of the following: 1 T6 ship coupon gift pack, 2 ship slots, 3 ship upgrade tokens, 2 Gamma Quadrant Duty Officer cadres, 2 Romulan Survivor Duty Officer packs, 3 kitchen sinks, 23rd Century Vulcan Ambassador outfit, Mercenary set costume, Species Unlocked Cardassians, the Cyborg Miracle Worker Bridge Officer, a Diet Coke, Maelstrom Quantum Torpedoes, exclusive to pack the Temporal Ops Scorpion Fighter Squadron, exclusive to pack Kodai Fighter Squadron, exclusive to pack Command Kodai Fighter Squadron, and 3 jelly beans. Wait, actually, I'm getting words. Some of that stuff I said was not in the pack, but a lot of it was. Trust me.
The kitchen sinks.
Kitchen sinks, the Diet Coke, and the jelly
I giggled.
beans.
I don't know if you heard me, but I did.
Because we haven't said enough tonight, for more information on each ship, please check out the Star Trek Online website. I promise all the details are there.
All right. Selleck, we'll start off with you.
Yes.
What is your
Yes, I love
take
it. I
on
want
this
it now.
bundle? You're keen on this one, yeah?
Yeah. I really didn't want to be, but yeah, as soon as I watched the live stream announcement, and within like 5 minutes of seeing the first ship, I was like, ah, damn it!
Yeah.
There goes about 8,000 to 9,000 Zen.
Yeah. So for you, it's a definite. You're definitely picking this one up.
Yes.
30% off. So that'll be what, 9,000 Zen?
8,400 Zen.
Right.
I have precisely 8,400 Zen.
Nice. That's fantastic. 8,400 Zen. So that's not bad for 3 ships, because you do get a T6X coupon. That's not bad. It's all right. I could have done without all the fluff, but whatever. It's what they do nowadays.
Wait, are you saying that because you think that without the fluff it would have been cheaper?
I would like to see them stop adding all the fluff and just say, right, here's the ships. It's $100, and we're doing a 20% off sale or 30% off sale. Whatever. I don't like, oh, we're giving you these 2 ships and we're going to add all this stuff in, so we're going to bump up the price even more. I don't like that tactic. I think it's a very sneaky kind of.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I don't think they're ever going to stop, though, because
No.
I don't think they're ever going to want to define a price for a legendary ship.
Yeah.
Because every legendary ship has become part of a bundle, and
Right.
none of them exclusively come with other legendary ships.
Yes. Yeah. No, I completely agree. Definitely. Phil, how about you? Are you interested in this bundle at all, or are you going to give it a miss?
No, I mean, I'm part of the problem because I only really like Federation ships. And
All right.
so I think the Akira is cool, again, in First Contact. So, but and the rest of the stuff, like, I mean, it's all good. I already have some of it, the Cardassians and stuff like that. But to answer your question, no, probably not. Did they say? And I'm sorry if I missed this in the news, but if they were going to sell these ships individually at some
I
point?
haven't heard that.
It would be a first. None of the other legendary ships have been sold separately.
I see. Okay, so the saying I would have probably bought the Akira
Right.
if it was separate.
Right. So initially, when I heard about this, I wasn't interested at all. And today, I took a quick look at the blog. Excuse me. And I'm finding myself changing my mind. I'm not quite there yet. So I'm on the fence. I might pick it up when it comes out next week. I don't know. That Valdor, I love that Valdor. And the Akira, I actually flight the Akira on my free-to-play account. And it's a great ship. I love it. It's a really, really good ship. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll wait until it comes out. I'll take a look at, find a closer look at the stats and then make up my mind. But I'm just on the fence at the moment. I'm not quite sure what to do.
I do really like the precedent that this is setting of giving us new versions of older pets that interact with specialist abilities. You know, the Temporal Ops Scorpion Fighter Squadron, I believe, adds bits of entropy to targets in exchange for slightly lower DPS from the pets. So it's a great pet to use on a temporal ship just to help increase the amount of entropy that a target has. And I think that's great. Making pets slightly more interesting is great because pets need, let's be honest, some work. So I'm really liking that Stowe is focusing a bit more on the pets.
Yeah.
And it's not clear from the description, but the Kodai fighter squadron is based on the Wraith fighters from Star Trek Shattered Universe, and I think the General Starfleet fighters from a previous game. So it's another ship design coming from an old Star Trek game.
All right, I did not know that. Interesting. Right, let's move on to item number 6, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, item number 6. Select, tell us all about Xbox and PS4 news, please.
Right, so Xbox and PS4 news, buckle in, you've got some patch notes.
Woohoo!
So, they have resolved an issue with the Klingon Gorn bridge officers so that going forward, new, very rare quality buffs will retain their quality when commissioned. They resolved an issue with the Sagan Command cruiser so that it now correctly caps out at T5 Starship Mastery. Resolved an issue that could cause excessive crowding of cadets at Starfleet Academy. Resolved an issue where the Cation carrier could not equip the Cation support frigates. Resolved an issue where the Excelsior II could not equip the tactical maneuvering matrix. Resolved an issue with the Zenkethi retrofit assault cannon so that the pushback on this weapon does not happen at the edge of its range. Resolved an issue that caused the heads of captains and bridge officers to be invisible when switching to an EV suit on some missions. Resolved an issue with piloting modification set where it could be used by the Mars pilot escort. Where it couldn't be used by the Mars pilot escort. They resolved an issue with the Zenstore description for the Jem'Hadar Vanguard Dreadnought cruiser not having the correct hangar pet listed. They updated the Zenstore and reward pack descriptions for the following ships: the Jem'Hadar Vanguard carrier, the Jem'Hadar Vanguard Dreadnought cruiser, the Jem'Hadar Vanguard Heavy Raider, and the Jem'Hadar Vanguard warship. Resolved an issue with the Terran Valkyrie fighter squadron and the advanced elite versions and the advanced/elite versions so that they display the correct visuals.
Right. So Xbox and PS4 there. Quite a few fixes and updates. I think some of that stuff is actually things that have happened on PC already. So it's always good to see console getting up to date and getting issues resolved. Good stuff. Right, moving on to item number 7, patch notes for this week. Resolved various progression issues with the episode Eye of the Storm. Resolved an issue where the Excelsior 2 could not equip the tactical maneuvering matrix. Resolved an issue that was preventing speed bonuses to targetable torpedoes from applying properly in many cases. Resolved an issue with the Zenkethi retrofit assault cannon so that the pushback on this weapon does not happen at the edge of its range. Resolved an issue with the concentrate firepower so that it now has separate timers for captain and non-captain triggers. Resolved an issue with the crossfield bridge officer that prevented the correct ambient audio from playing. Resolved an issue where the captain's weapon skill scaling was not working on the primary and secondary fire when using Universal Kit Module Voth Mechanized Exosuit, and resolved a visual issue in Earth Space Dock that caused some ceilings to become invisible. I did not know about that one. I hadn't come across that, so yeah, interesting. I do want to give a couple of shout outs here. So Lance, I see that you resubscribed. Thank you so much. You done that 20 minutes ago. Thank you so much for resubscribing to the channel. And Jesse, 2 minutes ago, just resubscribed as well. Again, thank you so much for your support, Jesse. I also want to give a shout out to Corzon TV for following our channel within the last 10 minutes. And 30 minutes ago, Bear Witness rated us. And then an hour ago, Melancholy60 followed us on our Twitch channel, as well as Iraka2. Wait, didn't they win the last giveaway?
They did indeed.
They did, yeah. So congrats again, and thank you so much for following the channel. We really do appreciate your support so much. Now, one last thing to do with... it wasn't included in the patch notes, but we all know of the issues that started last Wednesday with the game. The game was down for like nearly 3 days or something because people couldn't log into the game. And it happened at like 9 o'clock their time, 9 p.m. their time. And it didn't get resolved until like 9 p.m. their time again on Friday. And as a thank you for our patience while we were waiting for them to resolve the issue so that we could log back into the game, I believe this coming Wednesday, is that right, Phil? Is it Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So this coming Wednesday, every PC player is going to get one free T6X upgrade token. They're going to get one Elite Captain upgrade token and one Elite Bridge Officer upgrade token. So 3 items they're going to give every single PC player next Wednesday. So be on the lookout on Wednesday. It most likely will end up in the promotions tab of the Zen store, or it'll be in featured. I would imagine it'll end up either in featured somewhere along here, or else it'll end up in promotions somewhere along here. So keep an eye out for that on Wednesday. And to be fair, store, they're really good. Like, if there is problems and things don't always work out as well as they probably should, but issues happen and whatever, and whenever there are issues that affects gameplay or the server downtime or whatever, store usually, they're pretty good at saying, we're really, really sorry, here you go, this is a little thank you for your patience while we were working on the problem. And this is a good example of that. So, fair dues to them for that, because I think that was pretty cool,
I do want to also mention, a big thank you to Cryptic for actually communicating well while this issue was going on and keeping us apprised of their attempts to fix it and sort of vaguely explaining what was going on. It's very nice to sort of have that communication so you're not just sat there for days being like, well, are they even trying to fix it?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Do we do we even know like what could have happened? Like that it was like everything cryptic was screwed up for days?
Yeah. Have no idea. Like, you know.
Like that's got to be like someone pouring coffee on the mainframe. Like,
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's because a DDoS wouldn't be the same. Like those resolve eventually, but like create like that seems like a. I mean, I know nothing about game coding. I'm clearly not the brains of this operation, so I couldn't even begin to guess. But like, it just seems like insane that that would happen and take that long to fix. And I don't mean that because they were incapable of fixing it, but just the amount of time that it was down and not working correctly.
You know, we could speculate till the cows come home as to what the issue is. I mean, you know, for example, I don't know this for a fact, but you know, Microsoft could have put out an update, and there was an issue or some conflict with the update that affected, you know, logins and timeouts, and you know, like it mightn't necessarily be with them because some people were still able to get into the game. You know, there were players that were able to stay in game. It wasn't everyone that was affected. Granted, it was most people that were affected, but like I said, we could speculate till the cows come home. Who knows? Somebody could have tripped over a cable on the servers, and you know, like you said, could have poured coffee over something. You know. So who knows? Right, let's move on to Armada news. So, this Tuesday, the Priority 1 Armada takes to the airwaves again with Accolade Hunter, hosted by our very own James. This series will focus on finding all those pesky accolades you might not know about scattered across the galaxy. To check the time of this event, open up the fleet window, click on the events tab to see the event in your local time zone. So join us every Tuesday as we go accolade hunting. And every Wednesday on our YouTube channel, join Sarah and James on the latest episode of Trekking Out the News, where we will bring you the latest Star Trek universe news and headlines. As always, Thursday is TFO Thursday in the Priority 1 Armada. This event is for all Priority 1 Armada members and offers a chance for us to team up together and earn marks, XP, and more importantly, dilithium. To check the time of this event, open up the fleet window, click on the events tab to see the event in your local time zone. Next, the Ferengi Alliance fleet is now working towards a Tier 5 starbase and colony world. The Priority 1 Romulan Republic fleet has an upgrade available on K-13, and all that is required to put this on cooldown is about 1.2 million dilithium. So lots of opportunities to donate and gain fleet credits we all love. Moving on to the KDF side, the Klingon High Council fleet is working towards a Tier 5 starbase and colony world, same as the Ferengi Alliance. Next up, the Romulan Tal Shiar fleet needs about 150,000 dil and colony provisions of all types for its colony Tier 4 upgrade to get it to go on cooldown. And if you're interested in joining any of our specialist fleets like the Ferengi Alliance, the Klingon High Council, the Romulan Republic, or the Romulan Tal Shiar fleet, you can submit your application on the Priority 1 Armada website once you have reached the fleet rank of Captain in any of our primary fleets. These specialist fleets offer 25% reduced requirements for all promotions, as well as instant access to all fleet stores. Now, the Priority 1 Armada wants you on Twitter. We'd love to boost our social media followers, so each month we're giving away 10 Lockbox Master Keys, 1 T6X token, and 1 Fleet Ship module. All you have to do is just follow our Twitter account at P1Armada, retweet our promotional tweet, and or comment on our promotional tweet to enter. So make sure you follow us, retweet, and comment for more chances to win. Check out our Twitter account at P1Armada. And next up, we have made a TikTok account, so feel free to follow it. We'll be adding clips from all our latest shows, so feel free to clip something that you found funny, and the best ones will be featured on there. To find us, simply type in your search at P1 Armada. Next up, captains, we want your help. We are looking for able members to join the Junior Officer Program. These officers will help senior officers in the running of TFO Thursday each week. The only requirement we have is that you are willing to chat on Discord. If you're interested in joining, please contact Admiral Brent on our Discord server. Now, we want to let you guys know that the KDF Armada is in desperate need of fleet marks. Nearly all of the inactive fleets in the KDF Armada have multiple upgrades, and collectively there are tens of thousands of fleet marks needed. So we would like your help in getting these projects and upgrades to go on cooldown in order to increase the overall Armada level. Remember to check the project, even if it does say that it's 80 or 90% complete, as that is probably just because everything else is filled except fleet marks. Next up, we want to give you guys a reminder that Engine, our website host, is shutting down. All websites that are hosted with Engine will be shutting down on the 30th of April this year, so the end of this month basically. We will continue to administrate the website right up to the very end. We have found a replacement website. We are going to give early access to our patrons so that they can register on the website whenever they want. And probably next week or the week after, we are going to give you guys a temporary link in a news post to the new website basically. We have been able to back up the forms, and we will be able to link your old account with your new account. And just a heads up guys, things are very, very different. It is not going to look anything like our current website, but there's a lot of work to be done on it, and at the moment we're working really, really hard to back up as much as we possibly can. Guides, tutorials, tips and tricks, things like that. We're trying to get as much stuff backed up and rebuilt on the new website as we possibly can. Now, finally, we have a very special announcement, and I'm going to read a mail that I put out earlier today to all of you guys, and it is as follows. Greetings to all Armada members. We have an exciting announcement to make. We are launching a new fleet. This year we celebrate our 10th year anniversary. As many of you will know, we currently have 6 Federation primary fleets and 3 KDF primary fleets. Well, with this year being our 10th anniversary, we thought that it would be a good idea to bring online a 10th primary fleet as part of the 10-year anniversary celebration. So today we are extremely happy to announce that we are activating a brand new Federation primary fleet. We had originally planned to follow the same pattern as all of our other Federation primary fleets and give it the next letter in the Greek alphabet, but that was Eta. And to be perfectly honest, we weren't sure how you pronounce that one. Is it Eta or Eta? We just weren't sure. Then our XO Admiral Cat had the great idea to go with the number 10 in Greek. So the name of this new fleet is Priority 1 Deca. Priority 1 Deca is a primary fleet, meaning that there are no special requirements like those that exist in our specialist fleets. So any Federation or Federation aligned species will be accepted into Deca Fleet. Deca Fleet has a substantial amount of work already completed on it, as the fleet is already at level 48. It also has a number of upgrades ready and waiting to go online, meaning that there are thousands of marks needed, along with tons of other resources, so it will be extremely easy to earn fleet credits in this new fleet for the next couple of months. We will also be directing all new members or sign-ups that we get on our website to Deca Fleet. if any of you have created any new tunes and want to join Deca Fleet, simply ask for a fleet invite in-game or create a forum post on our website, and be sure to include the full and correct character @ handle. I do want to point out that if any of you want to transfer one or more tunes to this new fleet, unfortunately rank does not carry over, since the game doesn't carry over overall holding contributions. This is a limitation in the game and therefore out of our control. Now, as we have already mentioned, this fleet is already at level 48. The starbase itself will likely hit tier 4 within the next month or so, meaning that it is very likely that we might just get the starbase to tier 5 by the end of the year, or at least very close to it. Many of the smaller holdings are well on their way to tier 3, and we will likely get all those to max level before the end of the year too. The colony world is on its way to tier 3, so it will likely hit tier 5 sometime next year. We hope all of you are happy with this announcement and are looking forward to joining the 10th primary fleet in the Priority 1 Armada. And I am actually in that fleet on the character that I'm on now at the minute. And as you can see here, there are marks galore needed, as I'm showing you guys here. All these projects and upgrades need marks. Like there's another 2,000 marks needed there, marks needed there, not there, there's marks needed. There's 9,000 marks needed there, another couple of hundred, and as I said there a few minutes ago, you can see here that it is really close to getting to tier 4, and how many people do we have in it? We've already got 21 members in the fleet. So if you're interested in joining the new Priority 1 Deca fleet, just let us know or ask for an invite in game and we can get your character into the fleet. But people are already working on earning fleet credits already, and this fleet is going to be jumping up in level within the coming weeks and months, an awful lot. So yeah, we have a new fleet. Next up, we want to say that we are grateful to all our members who make donations to the community. Thank you so much to everyone who has made a financial contribution via our website. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone to highlight this week, as we've ran out of names, basically. These donations directly support the Priority 1 Armada by paying for things such as website hosting fees, production software for this show, domain name fees, IFTTT services, restreaming software for this show, and so on. So if you would like to support the Priority 1 Armada, you can make a donation on our website and receive a thank you package based on the amount you donate. Visit priority1armada.com to find out more. And that concludes the news. So, what say we announce the winner of our current giveaway, guys? What do you think about that? Before we jump into the away mission. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it.
Alright. So, guys, this was for a bonus pool collection pack. What we wanted you guys to do was type in the word first. We'll give you 5 seconds to do that now. Type in the word first. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. That's it. The lines are closed. If you didn't type in the word first, it's too late. You're going to have to wait for our next giveaway. So, yeah, like I said, this is for a bonus pool collection pack. And the winner is DM Kaiju. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Twitch viewer DM Kaiju. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So if you can please contact us, send a whisper to the Priority 1 Twitch channel and let us know what platform you play on and what your in-game @handle is. We will get that sent off to you at the end of the show. So well done and congrats again. So we will start our third giveaway now, and then we will jump into our away mission, which is going to take place on Defera here in the invasion zone. And for this giveaway, we're giving away 5 lockbox master keys. And what we would like you guys to do, you've probably guessed it, the first word was not, the second word was first, and what we want you to do now is type in the word contact. Type in the word contact, and that will enter you in with a chance of winning 5 lockbox master keys. It doesn't matter if you're watching on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Type in the word contact, and that will enter you in with a chance of winning 5 lockbox master keys. So best of luck, everyone. Right. God, it's been so long since I've been here. I'm trying to remember what is it that we have to do, or where do we have to go, you know?
I thought you were going to say it's been so long since we started the show.
No. No, that's not what I was going to say.
I mean, it was nearly an hour and a half ago that we started the show.
This is true. So, oh yes, we have to pick up missions. So let's go over to these guys here, and we're going to pick up every mission. The zone-wide ones, the hard ones, everything. There's a couple of guys here in the staging area that have missions, and basically we're going to work on all of them together. And the zone-wide ones, basically we all contribute to. Yeah, we'll annihilate. Aha, here's the next guy. You should have some. Take on the Borg. Now I think that's it. If you want to join us, feel free to come over to Defera, the invasion zone, and you can come and join us for our away mission, which is taking place here. So let's go to the temple first. So I'm going to jump up and down here like a mad hatter. And this is where we're going to go, guys. We're going to go to the temple first. So make sure you've picked up your missions. And then we're going to go to the temple. Don't forget to pick up all the missions. Alright, I'm going to the temple now. And make sure you have your Tier 116-B sniper rifles with you, or your Tommy guns, or your lightning, or something that can deal damage to the Borg. That guy isn't really taking damage. This is what I need to do. Talk to this dude. Man, it's been a really... We used to come here back in the day as part of... the daily excursion to get 8,000 dilithium ore. Back before there was dilithium in story missions and things like that.
Am I like doing no damage to them? Am I missing something?
You have to do specific things. I've never really learned what you're supposed to do here. I only ever come here, or come to this dig site for live streams.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I was here. So, I know we have to examine these crates, and I used to know these answers off by heart, but not anymore. There we go. That's that one done. Who's this dude?
Oh, is this like a tower defense?
Could be. You're asking me? I don't know.
There you go. There's your next video series. Obscure Star Trek Online gameplay elements.
Yeah. So do you have a sports report for us this time, Phil?
I would love to. Baseball season in full swing, everybody. And my own Tampa Bay Rays are the only undefeated team in baseball, winning again today 11-0 over the Oakland Athletics, extending their win streak to 8-0. The excitement palpable. Also, currently in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Arizona Diamondbacks are beating the Los Angeles Dodgers 10-6. In the top of the 9th, the Washington Nationals are beating the Colorado Rockies 7-2. And then the Toronto Blue Jays, for all our Canadian friends, are beating the Los Angeles Angels 5-4, bottom of the 5th inning. It's been a busy day in baseball. Earlier today, the Minnesota Twins beat the Houston Astros 9-6. The Kansas City Royals beat the San Francisco Giants 6-5. The Chicago Cubs, Lance, beat the Texas Rangers 10-3. And rounding it out, the Philadelphia Phillies, which I've been to that ballpark. I have a funny story about. We'll get to later. Beat the Reds 3-2. The Boston Red Sox, Winters, beating the Detroit Tigers 14-5. Oof. The New York Mets beat the Miami Marlins 5-2. Marlins, beautiful stadium no one ever goes to. The Seattle Mariners beat the Cleveland Guardians 3-2. The Chicago White Sox, both Chicago teams today, winning over the Pittsburgh Pirates 11-5. The New York Yankees, the evil organization of Major League Baseball, beating the Baltimore Orioles 4-1. And then finally, the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Milwaukee Brewers 6-0. 6-0. Oh wait, there's one more. The San Diego Padres beat the Atlanta Braves 4-1. 4-1, that final score. I saw a request for hockey in the chat. I don't think those playoffs started yet. They're very soon. But the currently the Boston Bruins are beating the New Jersey Devils 2-1 in the 3rd period. Earlier today, we'll stick to my teams. The Senators defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning 7-4. Ooh, 7-4. What else? The New York Rangers beat the Blue Jackets 4-0. Those playoffs are starting very soon, as is basketball. Where's Cat when we need her? Where's the Mavericks? They got eliminated. Poor Mavericks.
You know,
go ahead, Winters.
I think you might have missed your calling.
What, doing sports?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's very funny. I was always talking to Tony, I think, about it, because I don't know if amalgam's not the right word. Conundrum, because I guess I like all this nerdy stuff, but I'm also really into sports, and I know a lot about sports. I regret that I was not into sports longer. I really got into. I've watched football for a long time, something my mother and I would do together. And then baseball I got into when I started dating my girlfriend, now wife, like in 2012, you know. And then hockey and basketball, I know of it, but I know nothing about the rules. Yeah, sports. I enjoy them. A lot.
You know more about them than I do, anyway. That's for sure.
So for some Star Trek discussion.
Yes, the Parisi Squares tournament is going on. No.
Wow. So this year, I ended up watching First Contact like a few months ago. So I didn't want to watch it for First Contact Day because I'd seen it recently. So instead, I read the script because I'm that kind of a nerd, but specifically the first draft of First Contact.
Wow.
So there were quite some interesting differences with the first pass of the film.
Uh-huh.
The plot was, broadly speaking, the same. It was, Borg attack Earth, then, spoilers for a movie that's slightly older than I am, the Borg go back in time and try to stop the Federation from existing by stopping First Contact, which amusingly is 2 days earlier in the first draft than it is in the movie.
Oh, I wonder why that changed. That's interesting.
One of the biggest differences of the movie is characters are shuffled around. So, in the movie, Picard and Beverly beam down to the planet to assist with finding out what's wrong with the Phoenix, and then beam back up and fight the Borg on the ship. In the first draft, they stay on the planet, and the whole sort of this being a revenge thing for Picard is completely absent from the first draft because he doesn't even fight any Borg in the movie aside from the opening few minutes.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, instead, he ends up in a more expanded plot centered around trying to find a missing piece of the Phoenix that they need to replicate, but they don't know what it is because computers have been frazzled in the attack. Nobody has any historical schematics, so he has to go and find a photographer who photographed it like a year or two ago. And yeah, that character is basically what becomes Lily in the movie.
Uh-huh.
Because Picard is on the surface, the whole Data gets sort of kidnapped by the Borg. It still happens, but at no point does Data interact with Picard or anyone for that matter. In fact, basically everything happens on the Enterprise, but no one actually sort of interacts with each other. So Picard and Beverly are completely separate from anything happening on the Enterprise. Data is alone for almost the entirety of the movie, but still has the same tempted by the Borg Queen's flesh that she covers Data in, and
Where
all of that plot.
where were you able to get your hands on this? Just out of
I
curiosity.
just Googled first contact script, and one of the first results is just the draft script, the first draft script in its entirety.
Wow. I didn't think you'd be able to get something like that. That's actually really cool.
Mm. But yeah, it's interesting in its differences, and it's clearly not as good. But what I was particularly curious about seeing was were there any really cool ideas about like making the Borg really creepy that they had to cut later on for boring budgetary reasons and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. And the Borg are written quite differently in the first draft. They're not really anything like we've seen before. They're moving really quickly, they're running down corridors, they're shooting weapons at people, and they're crawling on ceilings and dropping down on people in an unsuspecting fashion.
All right.
So, Spider-Borg were very much in the mind.
Spider-Borg.
Spider-Borg, Spider-Borg. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Borg.
Oh, and the big set piece on the deflector dish, while it happened in the first draft, amusingly, instead of like doing some fancy releasing the deflector dish away from the hull, instead in the first draft they realign the torpedo launcher to fire their one remaining quantum torpedo and destroy the deflector dish using that.
Yeah, I think they went a better way with it in the end.
Yeah. There's the Data and Borg Queen dialogue, I will say, is almost word for word exactly what we get in the finished product.
All right.
The only scene that's subtly different and in a very funny way is when the Borg Queen is specifically trying to seduce Data and is like, how long has it been since you last used your
Yeah.
abilities? And instead, Data says, my creator didn't intend for me, and then the Borg Queen cuts him off and says, I'm your creator now, Data.
Wow.
Oh.
Which I love. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. It's amazing how these things can change, isn't it? Like, you know, from the initial concept.
One other subtle difference is they were making a lot more of how advanced the Enterprise E was, and it specifically described how instead of the normal shield bubble that you see with other ships in this slightly larger battle in the first draft than you get in the final, you're specifically meant to see like Borg weapons being dissipated along the hull because it's got fancy armor.
Huh.
So yeah, if basically reading a slightly crappier version, but a different version of the film sounds interesting to you, you too can Google Star Trek First Contact script and give it a read.
Yeah, that could be interesting to download for my tablet or something. You know, like lying in bed, bored, you know, trying to fall asleep or something.
Yeah, yeah. The other fairly inconsequential difference is when the Borg beam onto the Enterprise, they beam specifically into the environmental control area, and essentially that becomes the hub of where the Borg Queen lives. They never actually make it to engineering, which sort of explains why. Because you know, in the film, they break those canisters next to the warp core that
Yep, Liqu-
contain.
liquefies the organic material. Yeah.
Yeah, in the first draft, these containers slightly more sensibly exist in the environmental control areas.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
that's where that idea comes from, I think.
Puncture the plasma coolant tanks.
Mm. Oh, and because characters are swapped around, you know that scene with Worf and Picard as they're about to go on the hull and fight on the Deflect Edition. Worf makes a comment about being space sick
Yeah.
and not enjoying zero-G gravity. That scene exists identically in the first draft, but instead it's Worf and Riker is the character who is space sick.
All right.
He does get a fun dramatic moment where the Borg start jumping off the hull at him and ends up knocking him off the hull and sent spiraling into space, and they have to use a tractor beam to recover him.
I've actually never seen a script, you know, like an actual script, whether it's a first draft or a final draft. I'd actually be interested in getting a gander at that, just, you know, to see how these things are done.
As someone who has used a lot of them, they're interesting. They're not as easy to read as a novel because they're deliberately written to make it easy to film something. But there's a lot of interesting stuff in there usually.
Yeah. So I'm kind of just wandering around the city now, and I'm just killing Borg, and I'm picking up stuff, and I'm slowly but surely completing the various missions.
I'd love to know how to deploy these turrets, because this looks like it'd be fun. I just have not figured it out.
I've given up on the temple.
Yeah, I've finished the temple stuff and moved on to the city.
On one general comment about scripts is that they are very specifically formatted with generally the same font and the same size, so that approximately 1 page of script equals 1 minute of screen time.
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's right.
But yeah, there's some interesting stuff to be found in like earlier drafts and, you know, dropped ideas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know James Bleach, who was a British novel writer in the 70s, wrote the first sort of novelizations of Star Trek original series episodes, and sometimes he worked from earlier versions of the scripts. So he novelized versions of the episodes that people never saw.
Yeah.
And there were some interesting differences. One of the notable ones was the early version of the Doomsday Machine was actually a lot less dramatic in its finale, and also crucially, Matt Decker survived the episode in early drafts of that episode,
Oh wow.
which then makes the whole how do they work out how to defeat the Doomsday Machine a little more tenuous, because Spock just sort of out of nowhere has to think of the idea of, oh yes, if we blow up a starship, that might work. Because he doesn't have the fact that Decker's shuttle exploded in it to go on.
Right.
When I was on the Star Trek cruise, they didn't really play Star Trek episodes in the cabin, and that was one of them. And
Nice.
I got sick halfway through, so like I was in bed watching. Yeah, it was a mega bummer.
Yeah.
And a different story about that, but I was watching, so I watched Star Trek, and my wife, because I didn't want her to have to sit around and watch me be sick, and every time she came back, that episode happened to be on, and she's like, "Is this the only episode they show?" I'm like, "No, you're just catching it in its rotation."
It's a good episode.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
I don't know how many times I could stand to watch it a day, but it's a good episode.
They had like a rotation of like 2 or 3 from each series.
How are you guys getting on with your missions?
Getting the artifacts are easy to find. They're huge.
Yeah.
I'm just running through the shitty city, shooting every Borg I come across.
Yeah, I'm just wandering around, just killing everything that I come across. I'm slowly but surely completing the missions here. I see every now and then a bunch of Borg or Omega marks and fleet marks being awarded.
So what's everyone's anti-Borg weapon of choice? Is it still just the TR-116?
For me, it is anyway. Yeah.
Well, I want that Tommy gun, but right now it's the good old Honest Abe's hand axe.
Nice. I still stick with the Mako rifle because I don't want to not use an energy weapon just because I'm fighting the Borg.
All right. Each to their own.
I guess in the live stream this past week, someone asked about the Tommy gun, and Kale said that it's probably never going to be out of the Captain Picard bundle.
Yeah.
Super bummer.
If it's any consolation, I think it's a bit of an overrated weapon. It's fun, but even against the Borg, I don't think it's as good as the TR rifle. It has such low DPS that it's only really useful if you've got like a big group of enemies. So if you've got anything bigger than like a tactical drone, at that point, if you're using a TR rifle, you'll kill them much quicker. But then call me old-fashioned, I come to play my space game for space weapons.
There's another one complete.
Oh yeah, Zephyr Cochrane shotgun. That's a fun one.
It's hardly worth my while even buffing up to kill these guys. Like, a couple of shots and they're dead.
What's the? Do either of you know the lore of this area? Like what?
I
Like what-
used to.
You know, like
Can't remember offhand now what it
Like-
is, to be honest.
a cursory glance on the wiki was said that it was the Borg were trying to assimilate the preserver knowledge.
Right.
Do you remember like when this came out? Like with what expansion, if any, or?
It was one of the early seasons, like season 6 or something like that. Like it was really early on. Might have been season 4. This was back before even the before the first revamp of, if you want to call it a revamp of the reputation system. You had to, this is before TFOs even, you had to fly to the location to play the TFO, and you had to come here and you had to do specific missions with a chance of getting the gear that is now included in the reputation system that you just buy from Marks. Originally it was just a chance of getting it by coming here or to another location and playing a TFO, you know, and there's a chance that you get it.
Oh, really?
Yep. Very, very different. Very, very different.
You know, this makes me think, you know, since you know, you're quite the seasoned veteran, do you have like a, don't mean to put you on the spot, but to put you on the spot, do you have like a top 3 things that this game is, quality of life things that this game has done that you just like, why didn't they do this sooner? Or, oh, this is great, sort of thing.
So I think the first thing that comes to mind is when team powers used to share a global cooldown. So what I mean by that is, you know, you have engineering team, science team, tactical team. If you hit an engineering team and you had a tactical team also, it will put the tactical team on a global cooldown. Does that make sense?
It does.
That was ridiculous.
That
So
sounds ridiculous.
Which meant that there was no point in having more than one of any type, you know, because you could only run one tac team or one engineering team, and you know, you might need a shield heal, but because you just use a tactical team, you can't use your shield heal because it's on a global cooldown. That was ridiculous, and that was a good quality of life improvement. Trying to think of some other things that have changed and been improved down through the years. Sponsorship. That was a good quality of life improvement. Season 8, when the game revamped all of the reputations that existed at that time. Before, the original way the reputation system used to work was, let's say tier 0, you know, like progressing towards tier 1, the daily projects would only reward 2,000 XP instead of 2,500 that we have now. And the costs were compounded for each tier it went up. So if tier 0 cost 30 marks, tier 1 cost 60 marks for a daily project. And it kept on going up like that. And grinding marks to complete the reps was such a horrible, like, I think it took something like 90 days to get a rep from tier 0 to tier 5, something like that. which was just horrible, and thousands of marks. And season 8 they revamped it and they came out with the sponsorship. That was a good update. Actually, it was a terrible release because it was plagued with unbelievable bugs. But
I'm shocked.
yeah, but those updates to the systems were good additions to the game. Trying to think, how many did you say? Top 3 or top 5?
Top 3, but if you
Top
had
20. Let's
Top 20.
make this comprehensive.
God, yeah, talk about putting me on the spot.
No, those are good. Those are good answers.
While
I
Lex
have-
is answering that, do you know what one thing I do miss from the olden days was the ability to self-destruct?
Oh yeah, but that was abused. That was abused back in the day.
Yeah, but it was a fun little bit of role play of, if you think you're that screwed, you can role play abandoning ship.
Yeah,
and it didn't effectively make much difference, but it was cool to be able to do.
Yeah.
How was it abused?
People would be in Sol system and they'd self-destruct and then they'd kill other people that were beside them.
Oh yeah. Can't have that.
Yeah. It was abused. There's just no two ways about it. It was abused. Starfleet Dental are the first names that come to mind there. Trying to think some other quality of life improvements. I mean, there's been loads of them down through the years. I suppose the next one that I can think of is when they increased the stack size of R&D materials from whatever it was, 100 or 999 to 9,999. That was a good improvement.
And let's not forget the separate R&D tab.
Yes.
You remember the olden days when
Yep.
materials would clog up just your normal inventory?
Think. What else has happened down through the years? Yeah, I'm nearly playing this game longer than I was in the military. Another 18 months and I'll be playing Stow longer than when I was in the military. It's ridiculous.
Reports of its demise recently have been greatly over-exaggerated.
Oh my god.
That poor guy. For those of you who don't know, when everything went down, someone who I did not realize was not a dev. I actually had to read more about him. But when the game went down, someone in a separate fleet made a joke and they created this photoshopped image of a blog posting from Star Trek Online about how the game was sunsetting and they were going to announce it before summer, but because of this recent code break, they kind of had to accelerate their timeline. And then Kale and everyone else had to post on Twitter and on the Reddit that this is not real, this is a joke. And the guy came out and said that this was an internal joke that got out of hand. And reaction wasn't great, it wasn't like the whole, I don't think everyone was against him. Some thought it was funny, but what really was interesting though, and this is terrible to say, is that because of the typos, they thought it was real. And that, boy, oh boy. Yeah, so the game's not going away. They keep saying it's not going away, so keep spending your money. I mean, logging in and playing.
It was really, really well done.
I swear to God, I read it. I'm like, what?
It looked legit, and within seconds, because I seen it and I posted it on the Discord server, and I said it to the guys that were online at the time, and I was like, this is a hoax, and they were like, oh, post it on the server and let people think that it's genuine. And within seconds, now I'm max 3 seconds of posting it, people were like, what? And they were just losing their minds straight away. One person was like, "I'm just after buying a lifetime, and there's sunset in the game." Like he really got his nose out of joint. Nobody wanted me to say that it was a hoax, but I was like, "No, I can't do that to anybody in our group." So I typed straight away that it was a hoax. Then after that, and Nova was like, "Oh, Winters, you jack."
See, my reaction was slightly different, because when I first saw it on Twitter, I was pooping tribbles, because I have made that exact thing myself, and it wasn't until I read the date that they claimed the game was being sunset, and I was like, whew, it's not mine, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because we clearly went to the same place. We went to the blog post that was about sunsetting the Foundry and used that as a template. And if anyone wants to know how to do these, there's some filmmakers' tips on tools you can use. And yeah, oh boy. It is surprisingly easy to make a very convincing fake.
As I said, it was very well done.
Yeah, all you need is a web browser and something called X-ray goggles, and essentially what that allows you to do is to edit the text of a website just for you, and then you can just take a screenshot and all of the formatting will remain exactly the same. So you can do it with anything. You can do it with the Priority 1 website for as long as it survives.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's very. This is why, if you ever see a screenshot of anything, be very dubious, because it's incredibly easy for anyone to fake.
Did you guys hear about the April Fool regarding Ambassador Kale?
No. From this year, or
from this year? So
no, I don't think I did.
A certain individual, and I wish it was me, but I can't take credit for it. Said they made a Twitter post and said, "Hello everyone. I just want to introduce myself. I'm the new Stowe community manager, and I just want to wish Ambassador Kale all the best in his future endeavors."
oh boy.
And people were buying it. Like, yeah. I just want to introduce myself. I'm the new Stowe community manager.
That seems a little mean-spirited, though. You can tell because Winters loves it.
I love it. I wish I thought of it. I have no problem admitting that. I wish I thought of it because I think it's brilliant. Oh man. So, what do you think? Will we wrap up for the night?
That sounds
I think
good
so,
to me.
yeah.
All right, let me get out of here and go meet you guys back at the staging area. God, how do I get out of here?
Just surrender to the Borg.
Hi,
I'm
Ronnie.
gonna stimulate you.
Ronnie Jackson Jr. has found me. Oh wait, that's not right. That's not right either. Nope. I need to look at... alright, so down here. Hang a right.
Is it a left at the pile of Borg corpses or a right?
There we go. Found it. Man, I used to know this place like the back of my hand. Haven't got a clue now anymore. Alright, so we'll beam back to the staging area. Just get on the transporter here. Lord Ford says you cannot escape winter's resistance is futile. Wah, ah, 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 ah. Alright, and I'll take up my sitting position again. Excuse me. Right, so I think we still have to announce the winner of the lockbox keys, don't we?
I think so, yes.
Right. So this was for 5 lockbox master keys, and what we wanted you guys to do is type in the word contact. So we'll give you 5 seconds to do that now if you haven't done it already. Type in the word contact into whatever channel you are viewing on, whether it's Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. And that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. That's it. You missed your chance. Tune in next week. So, the winner is Twitch viewers Sir Pug. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
So, Sir Pug, if you can please contact us, send a whisper to the Priority 1 Twitch channel and let us know what platform you play on and what your in-game handle is. And we will get that prize sent off to you at the end of the show. So, well done and congrats again. Right, well, I guess that wraps up episode 257 of the Priority 1 Armada live briefing. But before we go, here's a glimpse at next week's show. Next time on Priority 1 Armada live stream, James will be in the Admiral's desk hosting next week's briefing with Jesse and Tony. As with every week, we'll be talking about the latest news from Star Trek Online and the Priority 1 Armada. Plus, we'll be teaming up with you in another adventure zone to earn more marks and dilithium.
If you are not a member of the Priority 1 Armada and want to chat with us in-game, then come join us on our Priority 1 chat channel by typing in the chat box /channel_join space Priority 1, all one word, and then hit the enter key.
If you do want to become a member of the Priority 1 Armada community, simply head over to priority1armada.com to sign up. We have multiple Federation and KDF fleets for you to start your career as part of the Priority 1 Armada.
This episode of Priority 1 Armada Live is brought to you by our community patrons through patreon.com. Find out about the thank you packages we offer for each tier and add your support at patreon.com/Priority1Armada. It is with your support that we keep going, so thank you.
And speaking of Patreon, a special thanks to our Patreon supporters like Wile Coyote, Sayar, Prince1983, Teacher Guy, Amergen, Tizan, Asar, Four, Seal, B Film Fan, Miller, Shijiro, Eric Owlin, Cash, Astro, Gojira, Quicksilver, Farnsworth, Jesse, Riker Carlson, and we would like to welcome 2 new patrons, Frank S. and Bradley, for joining our Patreon family. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Priority 1 Armada. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you. And if you want to be notified of our next live stream, then follow our various channels on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You never know what we will give away next time.
Before we go, I'd like to say thanks to our artist Jason Smith, thanks to Jesse for advertising our show in-game, and thanks to our community manager James. I would also like to say a very special thank you to my co-hosts Phil and Selleck for joining me this week. And finally, of course, a big thanks to you guys, the viewers, because without you, none of this will be possible. So until next week, take care, live long and prosper. Say goodbye, guys.
Toodles.
Good night.
End transmission.